Okay, you all come in, hit the like, hit the share button. I am speaking pretty fast because I'm going to have to I want to set up a private Zoom in a couple of hours. I have two new partners who are purchasing their crypto backed commodities that I have to help that got started today. So I want to go ahead and schedule that Zoom for them. Again, I haven't really live streamed in a long, long time. I did a impromptu live stream last night, and so just really wanted to get everyone updated. And as you can see, I just finished sweating, then a workout. So you're going to see my braids back pretty soon, right? I sweat, I work out, and it's just comfortable for me to wear the braids. It is getting so hot. And speaking of the temperatures, right? Eight tornadoes have hit three different states. Eight tornadoes. The number eight is divine infinity, divine, that upside down infinity sign, the number eight. And so we see the number eight, Revelations 1 and 11. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, right? You see beginning and ending in the currency system, in the currency dollar. Now, let's get started with the first part of this title. I'm listening. Hello, Miss Howard. Thank you for tuning in and saying hello. In fact, everyone that is tuning in, whether you are watching this live or watching on the replay, come in and say hello. Drop your city and state, or just say hello, or do all of the above. That's what I want you to do right now. Do that right away. So a young man that I follow on YouTube, I would have to give him credit. He did gematria breakdown of the win of the Denver Nuggets, and we see Djokovic, number 15 there. You think of 15, Carmelo Anthony, first NBA championship title in Game 5 over the Miami Heat. I'm going to break that down, and I'm also going to break down his perspective, right, of what this means and my perspective of tying it into the economic shift, right? One of the things that I'm going to go ahead and bring out that he shares is this: the year of skull and bones, the 322, that looks just similar to the Denver Nuggets logo. Again, he does not tie this into the economic portion of it, but I will. We see Jimmy Butler, the double number 22. The Miami Heat represented, you all. The Miami Heat represented the fire that's burning or will consume the United States dollar, right? I've been over this many, many times before. The Phoenix Economists. I really thought that maybe the Phoenix Suns would be in this playoffs, but they did not. Right? It was not scripted that way. And I don't get into sports or arguments. Right? I have definitely have teams that I would like to win just from being a sports fan, but I know the ultimate decision is by the powers that be, right? So salute to you, David. So thanks for tuning in. Now, oftentimes the year of skull and bones is mentioned, but it's not elaborated. Like, what does that mean, right? The Denver Nuggets, the logo, the year of skull and bones, exactly what does that represent? What does that mean? Now, if you've been following me again for any amount of time, we're going to go to the Bible. You know that I break down gematria and numerology from a biblical perspective. And the crucifixion, Jesus' crucifixion that has the X in it, for my XRP army, whether you're watching this live or in replay, I want you to put X in the comments. The crucifixion is a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. This is Matthew 27 and the number 33, the double 33. We saw double 33 a lot and LeBron James, and we see the number 88 a lot as well, because again, Revelations 1 and 11, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. It is the beginning of a new currency system and the ending of an old currency system. And only the people that have the foresight and the patience and the spiritual insight. Now, let me say this, let me elaborate on this, right? I'm gonna look right into the camera when I elaborate on this. People, I've seen spiritual people broke and struggling financially. I've seen anointed people broke and struggling financially. And I've seen religious people broke and are struggling financially. Now, some people sometimes do not like for me to use that vocabulary. Broke is broke. So if you want me to use the terminology of living paycheck to paycheck, if that works for you, that's fine, right? But I've seen all three categories. And the reason why that a person who is spiritual, they can have the stones and the um, you know, the sage, whatever, the person that's anointed that can lay hands and slay people in a church setting, right? Um, Pray in the spirit, and people that are also religious, right? That have a religious that they ascribe to, because the laws of money is the same, right, on earth as the scripture says, as it is on earth as it is in heaven. And if you don't know the laws of money in the earth realm, if you are not futuristic, if you're not making the moves to be successful financially, if you don't see where this economic wave is going, if you're not Henry Ford, like Henry Ford and Dale Carnegie, and if you're not like I'm trying to think, Rothschild and Rockefeller, and you don't see that this is the fourth industrial revolution and we're changing to digital, if you don't see this, you're going to be simply left behind. So let me break down 2023, right? The year of skull and bones. Let's break that down. And this is how the Denver Nuggets is going to, the win of the Denver Nuggets is displaying all of that. So I always like to put some word on it. I like to put some scripture on it because I want people to fact check me. Don't just take my word for it. Go to the Bible, read it yourself. Matthew 27, again, the double 33, right? The number 33 represents illumination. Christ, Jesus, the physical form, right? As I talk about the physical dollar, died at the age of 33. At 33 degrees, ice in a physical form, right, can be then transformed into liquid form. And I'm saying physical form because I want you to really understand the physical effects of cash and the transition of from physical cash to digital cash. So Matthew 27:33, they came to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. Now, if you're a King James person, I first would highly recommend that you research King James. But if you like King James translation, research King James and his beliefs, right? But again, and when they came unto the place called Golgotha, that is to say, a place of a skull. This is the crucifixion. This is the X. And so many would argue, or many would say, and you can also see this in Luke, another double 33, right? Another double 33. So if you are these Bible scholars and you say, hey, the Bible does not show us signs through numbers and numerology and gematria, and what is this lady that goes by Crypto Queen talking about? I can definitely show it to you in scripture, right? That's my advantage or competitiveness or the difference that the crystals have, or Christ, or my gifting is from any other YouTuber or any other educator, right? I can show it to you biblically, and then I can also break it down for you in the natural world in very simple terms. I can take the complex and make it very simple if you are open-minded to the idea. So Luke 23, here we are in year 23, and the double 33 shows and represents itself again, the double 33. When they came to a place called the skull, they crucified, right? We see crucified, no X in this word because it's not crucifixion, but they crucified him there along with the criminals, one on the right and the other on his left. So that represents three. That represents three, one on the right, one on the left. That's another three. That's another triangle. So we have two double 33s biblically related to the crucifixion. Now, why is this important? Well, because when you look at the Denver Nuggets logo, when you look at the Denver Nuggets logo, and you all make sure that you come in and hit that like and share button. I'm seeing some new people and new people that's saying hello that I've never seen on my channel before. So thank you for coming in. And thank you. Thank you for being who. Well, thank you, Tweezy. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thank you. Also, let me know where you are from, Tweezy. I see the Africa map. Are you from Africa? Let me know where you all are from, because I have global opportunities that will position you to put your cash into commodities-backed crypto before this crash and collapse happens, right? So let's break down the Denver Nuggets logo, right? You see the mining axis or the mining forks that it looks like. And this almost look like an M, but it's representing the mountains. And then you have the basketball, of course, for the NBA, the mining pitchfork there. Another thing, and this is very similar to what Minnie says, I showed you earlier, the logo, right? The logo meaning for Skull and Bones. 2023, the year of Skull and Bones. And so that breakdown, you all, means that just like the Cash App person and the Apples, okay, I see you, Mississippi. All right, M-I, crooked letter, I, humpback, I. However, I forgot how they go. I'm from Mississippi too, and I forgot. I have some M-I, crooked letter, I don't know. I forgot how we learn how to spell Mississippi. Oklahoma, hello, Oklahoma, and Ashley from Jackson, Mississippi. But okay, all right, a lot of Mississippians in. Come on, help me out with that M-I, crooked letter. I forgot. I know we got to laugh at that. Yeah, how we learn how to spell the SIP, the Mississippi. Sean says gold. And so now the year 2023, right? The year of the place of crucifixion. What's going to be crucified? The physical dollar, right? Very similar to the Denver Nuggets logo. And Sean, yes, you are correct. Also a symbolism of physical gold, the nuggets, right? Gold nuggets, mining gold, right? Thank you all for sharing the live stream. 200 people are coming in. And so we see the mining of the gold as well. Now, what was the Miami Heat part in this? Again, Miami Heat represented the burning of the cash dollar, the physical dollar. And then you see the XLM stellar logo symbol on the phoenix bird. Also, I want you all to pay attention. The Denver Nuggets had the mile high on their uniforms, on their jersey, right? The mile high, or it can be symbolism of mountain high. So when you look at that, the Philadelphia Eagles represented the NFL championship playoffs. You got the Philadelphia Eagles. That's the bird that soars high, right? The highest soaring bird that there is, the eagle. Other birds fly. The eagles soar at an altitude that other birds cannot. And so the bird and the eagle was representation of the United States. The color green and the Philadelphia Eagles represented the greenback, the physical dollar. And now you have the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs with the arrows is also another airborne representation. So when you look at the Denver Nuggets and the mile high and the airborne representation, now you have the get ready for a world currency. This is the 1988. Again, we see the double 88 again. The double 88 and the double 33 has been dominant this year, has been dominant this year. And so again, double 33 in short means the illumination is when ice is being able to be melted into liquefied, in addition to the age of Jesus' crucifixion, which is symbolism. This is a symbolism of a physical form, a physical man, now being transformed into a spirit being, right? From a physical being to a spirit being. Now, you're also going to see the numbers 111 a lot. The number 1111 represents to destroy, to destruct, to tear down, right? Genesis 11 in the Bible, representation of the Tower of Babel, another frequency, right? Another frequency being or wanting to be implemented, wanting to go to another frequency. So if you know anything about energy, you know about energy, frequency, and vibration. And that's what these cryptocurrencies that I am educating people to get positioned in represents, because it's not only digital mining, right? It is backed by physical, real world commodities. And this is the year of the crucifixion, the place of the skull, the year the dollar will die and be de-dollarized, the year that Cash App owner died, anything connected with crypto. And you also see, come on, SRP Army, I know you all see the X, and you see the XRP judgment is coming to a conclusion, hopefully by this month. So for a lot of people, right, they've been waiting on this for a long time. But for some people, this is going to be an all of a sudden change because they are not prepared. For a lot of people, they've been prepared. This is your air symbols with the Kansas City Chiefs, right? The arrowhead. And then we see the red and the yellow. We see the red and the yellow and the Kansas City Chiefs. And you see the red and the yellow in the Denver Nuggets, right? You also remember Rihanna in the Super Bowl. What did she have on? All red. So they keep the colors the same. Now, you may be saying, well, Queen, I didn't see a, because it was a little difficult now to, because you saw the red and yellow in the Miami Heat as well. That's why I knew that the Heat would beat the Boston Celtics, because the Celtics, just like the Philadelphia Eagles, was the color green, right? And so I knew that they would beat the Boston Celtics, another representation of the greenback falling, another representation of the dollar falling. Now let's look at the number 11, where you're going to see the number 11 in this. Thank you, David said exactly. This is where the red and yellow for the Denver Nuggets shows dominance. And it looks like the C for China, doesn't it? You got the red C for China. You got the yellow or the gold, right? And then you have Colorado became, this is the Colorado, the city of Colorado flag. So Colorado became the 38th state. 8 plus 3 is 11 to join the union. And then you have August 1st. Now, many would say August is the 8th month, right? And we see the infinity sign with that again. However, October is really, when you go by the Gregorian calendar, the 8 month, that's where we get the word octopus with 8 tentacles. Oct means 8. So August is not really the 8 month. Many religious organizations teach the 8 month as new beginning as August, but it's really October. And then you have September, which is Septor, which equals the number 9, right? October, November, and then December. And then you have September, Septor, which equals the number 7. Let me make that correction. The 7, the number 7, right? And so this is how a lot of people are lost, because they don't know the real times in the season, and then they don't know the numbers that the powers that be go off of. Now let's look at the number 3 again, and the Lakers and what they were showing you. And you all know that I used to coach basketball. So if you don't know, now you know. And that's why I'm able to tie all of this into sports as well. LeBron James, you see the Denver Nuggets, right? The 38 in the Denver Nuggets, 8 plus 3 is 11. LeBron James was 38 years of age when he broke the leading all-time scoring records. And people, you see the 3888 again. The 3888 again. 3 8s and a double 33 again. It keeps, the day of the year was February the 7th, which was the 38th day of the year. And guess what? His 38-point performance, the Los Angeles Lakers, you see the 3 times again, and the double 1 for 11, 133 to 130, and lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder. 38 years of age, 38,388 points, 38-point performance. Day of the year, February 7th, which was the 38th day of the year. And so people, we are going back to the future. Again, the number 8 is the upside down infinity sign. We are going back to the future. We are merging old money with new money. And you see HARP in full effect. Now, I know that I tell you all to put in XRP Army, but I'm just telling you all, do not sleep on XLM. That's the other X that was on this Phoenix. As you see, the heat, the fire burning the physical cash under the claws. Get ready for a world currency. And then you have Phoenix. Then you have 2018, right? 2 plus 1 is 3. There's the 38 again, people. And then 8 plus 3 is what? Come on, let's go to math school with me, you all. I'm going to wait for you all to give me the answer. 8 plus 3 is what? So then you see the gold chain, which represents blockchain technology, right? Which represents blockchain technology. And then you see also that 1, because in gematria, 0 has no real value. And so you see the number 1 and the number 10, right? And the number 10. The number 10 in the Bible represents authority. It represents like the number 6 is the number of man, right? The number of man. And the number 3 represents divine perfection and performance. The numbers 7 and 12 means a divine transition. Jesus had 12 disciples, but out of the 12, 1 was crooked. So 12 minus 1, right, is 11 again. 1 out of the 12 was crooked or evil per se. But just notice that we talk about Judas, but Judas sold Jesus for silver, not gold, 30 pieces of silver. And there's a lot of people sleeping on physical silver. I've been telling you all to stack your silver because there's shortage in silver, physical silver, and copper. And those shortage will drive the pricing or the value of the pricing of silver and copper to a new all-time high. So the number 10 indicates or represents Union or collection, you see 10 on the Phoenix, right? It is a cohesive system of smaller parts to combine and create something of a whole. Mm, wow. Two factors in the number 10. The number four is representation of the earth realm. I don't have my notes. I used to have my numbers written down. I need to get myself together, but I haven't live streamed in a while. I think it's right here though. So I can make sure I'm flowing correctly. The number 4, number 11 is new beginning. The 11th hour appears right before the start of a new day. The number 4 is Jesus' parable. He had 4 types of soil in the Bible, 4 types of soil: stony ground, good ground. I can't think of all of them, but there's 4 types of soil mentioned in the Bible. There's 4 earthly kingdoms mentioned in Daniel 7:3. The 4 seasons, right? Winter, spring, summer, and fall. 4 directions. This is where we get news from: north, east, west, and south. You all never answered my question about 2018 on the Phoenix. I said 8 plus 3 is what? I don't see it in the chat, right? So 10 means law and order. It means responsibility, whereas 11 can represent chaos. This is where we get 9/11. This is where we get 9/11. This is why the Twin Towers, right, which represent, there you go, G-Man. Okay, Tony, I see you. The Twin Towers, 2 standing is 11. So it represents disorder. But buried underneath the rubble of the Twin Tower, we see millions of millions, multi-millions worth of physical silver and gold. If physical silver and gold is not money, but just a pretty yellow metal, as Dave Ramsey would say, then why are the banks hoarding it? Why is central banks collecting it, right? Thank you. David says, I'm on fire about buying silver. Oh, I'm going to show you all. Go to milliemoves.com if you want to get silver at a wholesale price, and copper, and some new gold items have been added. So you have your 4 directions. 6 plus 4, right, equals law. The number man. 4 represents what will happen in the earth realm. It represents law and responsibility. It represents the 4 stages of leadership. You got local experts, you got area leaders, you have heroes from afar, and then you have living legends, right? 6 is the number of man. Also, 6 is the number of the wild beast that represents your pituitary gland in your mind, along with your pineal gland. Your pituitary gland is that reptilian part of the brain. And sports is called, I went beast mode, right? The pineal gland is that spiritual part, right? And so the number 10, for, again, the number of physical creation, and 6 is the number of man, as mentioned. You put that together, that's 10, that's God's authority over mankind, and divine completion is made. People, I'm telling you that 6 and 4 is going to be combined together in the form of cryptocurrencies backed by real world commodities. 6 and 4, the number of man, right? 4 represents God's physical creation. Man cannot create gold and silver at all. Man can't do that. But man can and has created cryptocurrency. And so as this bankrupts out, as we shift to a new world order, as the sports are showing you the signs, my question to you is, do you have your cash into the assets that's going to be the future of money that since 1988, and probably longer, 1988, right, that they have been showing us, as 8 is infinity. It represents the ending of an old to begin anew, right? The ending of an old to begin a new thing, a new currency. But you can't take away, and people, I say this all the time, if it's not backed up, it's probably made up, right? If you are into cryptocurrencies that you don't have the knowledge or information about, I will highly recommend, right? I will highly recommend that you also get into these cryptocurrencies that are backed by what's always been wealth, as Robert Kiyosaki said. Um, you know, gold and silver and these commodities have been here way before the cockroaches. Now, we know that we have the BRICS nation. We have the BRICS nation. BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Also South Africa and Saudi Arabia. This week, you see the Prince of Saudi Arabia greets Chinese president. And what is it about, people? What's going on? It's about commodities, real world wealth, right? Two countries increasing their closeness, and their sign of a $5.6 billion deal for the production of electronic vehicles. And they are also collaborating for their oil, not exchanging or pricing their oil or commodities anymore in the United States dollar. And see, this is why how a lot of people are going to get bamboozled. They're going to get hoodwinked, right? Because they are going to give up their real world commodities, their real world wealth for cash, not knowing that cash is a depreciating, right, asset. Oh, thank you so much. What a great compliment. You said, Yousef. I don't listen to Yousef. I need to. So I definitely will look into that. Say you don't need school. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And so with this being said, now you have France that's joining in. So BRICS is getting stronger. These other countries are saying, including Saudi Arabia and South Africa, saying our commodities is too much of a value to keep exchanging it for the United States dollar, which is this an asset? Because as right now, you still can use it to purchase your food and groceries and gas, right? But it's the lowest yielding asset that there is. And so is France banking on China's currency against the US dollar? We have now, this was released last month, the president found himself in hot water after making controversial statements after the visit to China. And listen, Europe reduced its dependence on the extraterritorial of the US dollar, referring to Washington's ability to deny countries access of the dollar-dominated global financial system. This concern harkens back to former U.S. President Donald Trump's decision to end Washington's participation in Iran's nuclear deal. And so people now, in short, the National Offshore Oil Corporation concluded China's first purchase, people, and there is a crypto that is backed by natural gas as well. First purchase of liquid natural gas and the digital yuan through the Petroleum of National Gas Exchange. So China said, we're accepting the digital yuan for our commodities as well. And this is in natural gas. Now, let's not forget that when United States, right, increase the debt limit from 32 trillion, what came in that agreement and deal? A new natural gas pipeline. That came in that agreement, a deal. See, people, you got to be woke. You got to stay woke. I want you to stay woke and not broke, right? Woke and not broke. A natural gas pipeline. And speaking of that, also student loan debt repayment is scheduled to begin again in August, people, unless something happens with that, right? And so you got the Denver Nuggets, you got all the subliminal messages, You have the year of skull and bones, the crucifixion, where Jesus was crucified, right? Where death happened, that represented a physical death. You have, again, the number 3 that represents the Trinity, that represents the transformation of illumination, right? And all I'm saying, you all, is you need to prepare, because this is going to make 2008 look like a flesh wound. This is going to make 2008 look like a flesh wound. And so now, right, again, on the Phoenix bird, you see the number 10. Also, biblically, go back to Acts chapter 10 in the Bible. Vision happened in the 9th hour. 9 is the number of completion. Jesus died on the 9th hour. So the number 3, the Trinity, also means divine perfection, where the number 7 means divine transition. So I hope I'm not confusing you all, right? But with that being said, this is why the Nuggets won the gold. Gold and silver is going to be used to reset the currency system. You can get the physical gold right now, about $2,000, or you can get crypto that's backed by gold, not linked to gold. It's a big difference. The backing of gold and the linking of gold, you all, is a big, big difference. The crucifixion of the dollar, the crucifixion of the physical, right? As Jokic equals 22 and 23, his name in gematria. And people, again, this is just the year of crucifixion for the dollar. The best thing I tell people, in my humble opinion, is to convert your cash into commodities before the dollar crashes. And the new blockchain technology, you see the chain on the Phoenix bird, the 1988 economist, right? These cryptos, why I love them and talk about them wholeheartedly, is because they are backed by real world commodities, right? This is what my portfolio looks like. And hey, even the double 33 and 44 and the number 7, which represents divine transition, at the time of this live stream is showing in that all at the same time, simultaneously. So this is black gold. This is Texas tea, right? This is crude oil. Crude oil is made to help to make fertilizer, which we get our crops from. Plastic bags, used in our vehicles. So many different uses for crude oil that we cannot do without. Debt is the utility token. It is the token that connects all of these commodities. And debt is making an announcement that it is transitioning into layer 1. So getting in debt right now, you all, is like getting into BNB, the Binance BNB coin, or Ethereum, when it was $16. And it's a dip. And guess what? Because I have the digital software, I am buying the dip, and I don't have to like try to time the market. This is digital software that's getting me the coins at whatever prices they fluctuate. And I love it when I'm accumulating these tokens when it's in the red, right? Warren Buffett says, if you want to get rich, learn the first rule: never lose money. The best way to never lose money is to buy while it's blood in the streets. The number 2 rule is to never lose money. So we talked about natural gas with the increasing of the debt ceiling and the natural gas pipeline being implemented. And then we have France and China now trading natural gas out of the US dollar for the digital yuan. People use natural gas right now is pennies on the dollars. It's at 0.00025 of a cent. You have grow. Grow is high yielding agriculture. It's at 41 cents. This is supported by cocoa beans, soybeans, rice, over 10,000 acres in Ghana, and plant-based healing, hemp, weed. You know how big the marijuana industry is and plant-based versus prescription-based healing. Kokaya grow is also supported by mangroves. I talked about tornadoes, 8 tornadoes right now, and 3, right? The number 3 and the number 8, the ending of an old to beginning of a new, in 3 states. You have mangroves that help against that wind and the destruction when planted, like on Florida coastlines and Hades, right? And that also helps the carbon dioxide of the air, the quality of the air, very eco-friendly. This is XPLR, another X that we can add to the equation besides XRP and XLM. It's at 0.0026 of a penny, people. I'm talking about getting things that have so much upfront or future potential of growth because you're getting it and when it's dirt cheap, y'all. You can't beat that, right? I'm talking about affordable and automatic. Have you ever read the book by David Bach, The Automatic Millionaire? Because when you purchase these licenses one time, that's perpetual income. Means you can cash out and you can cash back in, and you will always have a goose that lays golden eggs as long as you acquire these licenses. This is beverage. This is backed by beverage industry, whether it's energy drinks, water, tea, right? Coffee. Tea and coffee are the most drink beverages that there is. Also wine and spirits. This is out of a refinery factory, right? Located out of Mississippi. For my Mississippians that's on the live stream, Magnolia Factory that's located near the coast, Biloxi area, Gulf Coast area, Southern Mississippi, right? You can go there live. This is the beverage, $1 trillion industry. These are real tangible cryptos, commodities. Then you have blocks. This is commercial real estate that comes in at 0.00073 of a cent, right? That's commercial real estate. People, this is when you get the royalties from real estate. The royalties from real estate without having to deal with renters, without having to deal with rehab, without having to deal with renovation. That's if you can get rich in the metaverse and digital, right? Digital real estate, you can get rich in the real world and your universe, right? Now we have digital link gold. We talked about the Denver Nuggets. You can either get gold at 2,000 an ounce, or you can get a perpetual license. And as your tokens grow, you can cash this in for the physical gold that will give you gold for a lifetime, not a little while. This is a dip today, but it's at 10 cents, right? And then again, drip. This is providing clean, efficient water. Speaking again about Mississippi, you know that Mississippi went through a water crisis and was on a boil water notice, and the water was brown. The same as Flint, Michigan. This happens a lot in a lot of poverty-stricken states and areas. No clean water in third world countries. And it's outsources machinery and technology and blockchain technology and more updated equipment, even in third world countries, right? Because I would have just got this just for the cause of supporting a clean water movement. That's the drip back. This is at 13 cents right now. And then you have the DCM. I'm also excited about DCM because DCM is the uses of mining using natural gas, people, and crude oil. Bitcoin mining is very, very expensive and it's not eco-friendly. It's not eco-friendly. And so now when you have natural gas that would have been not used or just dispersed, right? Or crude oil that would have been not, because you sometimes the natural gas is not used. Where there is natural gas, there's crude oil. And so now you have this mining in a very eco-friendly way. You know, Biden and this administration is for the go green incentive. And this is the process of verifying transactions on blockchain by solving mathematical problems. So once you become a license holder, you are rewarded for this and rewarded with new tokens. So over time, just imagine people that was mining Bitcoin when it was at 0.000 of a penny under a dollar, right? And Bitcoin, just like all of these cryptos, people, they have a halving. They have what's called a trust wallet that comes in and buy these cryptos that forces a supply and demand. That means the tokens are reduced and this continues, right, until once the number of circulation of ended of the tokens, the miners will be rewarded through fees for the work is done. So mining right now in this system can be done right from your phone, right from your app, because Bitcoin mining right now is very controversial because it's considered is not considered environmentally friendly. So now to mine Bitcoin, and there's another country, let me see if I can look that up, that wants to use volcano. I think volcano lava to mine Bitcoin because it's, it's going to happen anyway. The lava is going to erupt anyway. El Salvador, that's it. So the DCM, the data center mining, is now using. So they're going to harness the power from volcanoes, El Salvador. So this company, this opportunity, harvest the power from natural gas, right, and crude oil to mine Bitcoin. So it's still a working project, process. This is already happening with this company, right? The power harness from a volcano, the first of its country. And so this opportunity is using natural gas in particular. And so again, people just getting ahead, people that are converting their cash into these crypto commodities are 10 steps ahead. And people, if you don't think, right, volcano power Bitcoin mining has been a thing for a while. It's geothermal energy, which is the same thing that I just showed you. And so, yeah, it's friendlier for the environment. It's fully renewable. It's untapped energy source, right? And this is the same thing with natural gas. It said put the work. And guess what's even great news today? If you're on this live stream, they have a summer sale that's going on right now. They just made the announcement. It's a fight for freedom sale. What does that mean? You're fighting to get out of the matrix, out of the cash, into what's going to be the future of money. And you are going to put your cash in a position where it's going to outgrow and outpace inflation. If you don't think money can buy you happiness, try going without it in a depression. Right. So now they have perpetual license, fight for freedom sale. You can get aluminum. I didn't go over aluminum, but aluminum is backed by bauxite. Most of this is in Africa again, right? Africa land, bauxite. Africa is very rich in commodities, richer than the United States. And this is what aluminum is backed by thousands of acres of land. And Ghana, again, blocks is commercial real estate. You get the royalties from real estate in a metaverse. So you can get rich in the universe without dealing with renters, rehab, renovations, or renters, rehab, or renovations, right? And so now you have digital link gold. This is backed by real gold. It's not linked, meaning that you can convert your tokens and you can receive the real tangible gold, not backed by, but linked to, right? If it's not backed up, it's made up. XPLR, that's the satellite technology that's launched into space that helps find these commodities. All of these commodities have a different energy, frequency, and vibration in the earth realm. Energy, frequency, and vibration is not about just people who you have synergy with. Is how you find commodities in this earth realm. And then DCM, this is the mining of Bitcoin through geo-friendly mining that's very healthy for the earth and its mining components. And so this is big, people, because with the DCM, you actually get proof of work tokens or coins, rather, like Bitcoin. You get this through airdrops, right? And so getting it through airdrops, people, I'm talking about a one-time investment. So DCM helps or prevents running high-power computers simultaneously to create new Bitcoin. So it's a much cheaper and eco-friendly way to now get and mine Bitcoin. And DCM will offer the Bitcoins for license holders through airdrops. And these are on sale for $1,500. This ends July 5th. Again, you cannot find these cryptocurrencies on public exchanges like BNB, like Coinbase, Gemini. None of those. It's only through the IX Global membership, just like if you were shopping at Sam's or Costco or something of that nature, right? And so I'm logging off, you all. I'm just saying, and let me share you what the another 11 real quick, to show you how mining is a better way. You don't buy and hold in mining, right? You buy and grow. You grow the number of tokens because you know the value of these tokens in the future. People, World War III will be a commodities war. Let's make no mistake about it. World War III will be a commodities war. And what's going to make these cryptos very valuable is the commodities that's backing them. Now, a real estate investor has a side hustle mining more than 110,000 in Bitcoin every month. Imagine if you were getting 110,000 in Bitcoin every month. Because at this point, it's just about accumulation and growing, not buying and holding. I know you heard about HODL hands and diamond hands, but I'm talking about accumulation and growing. And so look how young he is. So you're buying a goose that's going to lay you continuously golden eggs. You are buying ATM that's going to give you infinity continuity cash flow, in a sense of cash. So even if you need to cash out for some unexpected emergency, or you just want to go on a beach, or you want to enjoy time with your family, or you want to, get away from your job or take time out from the job. Maybe you don't like your job. The highest rate of heart attacks happens Monday morning at 9 o'clock. And why is that? Because people are returning back to work, a job that they do not like. That's not my case, right? But I don't like my job all the time. And I don't like entrepreneurship all the time. But I love my job because my job, I have a calling of teaching children. However, I have options. See, money gives you options. And if I ever decided that teaching children, because even though I love teaching children, it is a very stressful job to have. Teachers are overworked and underpaid. So I have options. Not only does money give you time freedom, right? It gives you options. It gives you choices. People take advantage of these sales, of these discounts. Also, that debt, the decentralized eco-friendly blockchain that all of these commodities-backed cryptos are connected to. They have micro licenses. Listen, you all, those licenses were sold out for months. They just released them on yesterday. That is that utility token is the heartbeat. It is the heartbeat, right? Also, one last thing I want to do with my biblical numerology. People, the number 1111, Deuteronomy 1:11 says, "May the Lord thy God, the God of our ancestors, and bless you and increase you 1,000 times more." As Central Standard Time, It is now 7:11. Then you have Deuteronomy 11:11, that's transitioning to new life of abundance and a promised land that is blessed by many resources. Deuteronomy 11:11, a transfer of land, of wealth, commodities, physical wealth combined with digital wealth. And in Genesis 1, I talked about the phoenix and the number 10 on the phoenix, right? The phoenix represents XRP. The symbolism represents XLM. And then we have XPLR technology as well. But Genesis 1, God created 10 things on the first day of creation. And 10 things, right, on the sixth day and final day of creation. And on the sixth day, he said, it is very good. Do not let people teach you that 666 is the mark of the beast. 666 is a representation of both man, the pituitary gland, reptilian gland in our bodies. That means we all have the yin and the yang. We all have the potential to do either good or bad or right or wrong. And it represents a monetary transfer. Solomon, the richest man in the Bible, who was a king, accepted gold in the amount of exactly 666 tons. It is representation of wealth, man, and both good and bad. The sixth day in the Bible is the only time that God said it is very good, right? So Genesis 1, 10 things on the first day of creation, 10 things, right? And then 10 things on the sixth day. And the final day of creation, he declared that it was good, but the sixth day, it was very good. Now, 10, again, also is representation of wealth. That's why we talk about giving a tenth in the Bible. It's the number of tithing, right? Honor the Lord, your Lord, with your possessions and the first fruit of all your increase. It's Proverbs 3:9. And people, I'm going to end this live stream with this. In the Bible, even Malachi 3 talks about tithing to yourself first. Yes, the children, the Israelites, were given land, a covenant, as a gift. And God said, I want you to plant seed in your own soil first, the land that I gave you, and then give 10% to the Levites because I want meat in my house. So the tenth is to tithe to your own self first, and then give a tenth to a worthy cause, right? As a result from the blessing of you tithing into yourself. Let me give you another scenario if you don't believe that. See, you don't tithe to get blessed. You tithe from the blessing. I know you have not been taught it that way, but that's the way the Bible teaches it. When Abraham, right, tied to Melchizedek, Abraham received the blessing first and then tied from the blessing. That's why many people are still woke and broke, because they never position themselves to get the prosperity first and then tithe from the prosperity. Now, if you don't give from the blessing, then what you have been blessed with will be taken away. That's just the law of giving and receiving. If you don't bless the person that's teaching you, then the knowledge you have or information you have from that person will be distorted to you mentally, and you won't be able to take action because you don't give back to what's feeding you. I have a lot of people on my live stream. They don't give super chats. They don't, do anything, but they get the information, but they can't take action. You cannot take from a source and expect the resource that you receive from that to stay and remain blessed. How many of you all take at least 10% of the money that you work for and invest it or put it into a revenue or a stream or an opportunity that will grow that money? So now that you have growth, you can now tithe from it. That's the way it's supposed to be. professional chicken neck breaker. I love you too. He says a professional chicken neck breaker. Chicken necks are pretty good. I haven't tasted them a lot. I have tasted chicken necks in a while. So you're supposed to tie it into your own sword according to Malachi 3. And from that, give the 10%. Abraham gave to Melchizedek. Last thing, visit millimoves.com. Get your silver and your gold at a wholesale price, right? You can become a customer, and if you want to earn extra income, you can become a wealth ambassador. The reason why I talk about this all the time and promote it is because this is a combination of fine arts and precious metal all in one. You see the Chad Egyptian, you see the fine arts here, the silver bull, um, Helena, goddess, and even the gold here. You can get this 1/10 ounce of gold Britannia coin for $274. You all, this is my favorite. This is just released. I'm pretty sure it's going to be sold out. We see the number 999. Really, I just broke down the number 9 for you all. 9 is as Jesus died on the 9th hour, is the number of completion and judgment day, and ushering in a new era. This also have 14 ounces of copper. As I said, copper and silver are the most undervalued assets right now in the world. This is beautiful. This is just beautiful. Become a customer, a wealth ambassador. You also have the equilibrium silver coin. People, you have silverbacks for $14.97, $15. A limited mintage on these. So you, again, this goes back to supply and demand. You want things that are limited mint, that have the artwork, right? As well, you got the King Tut included. As Jay-Z said on his album 444, right? He talks about artwork and passing it down. Rich and wealthy people invest in artwork and intellectual property. This is what makes Bitcoin and these crypto commodities so valuable, right? We don't know who Satoshi is, right? So you got the Bitcoin for $94.97, diamond hands to the moons, right? You have that silver piece that's a limited mint of 5,000 as well. And you have the 3-ounce 8 dragon. I talked about the number 8 with Queen Elizabeth, the 333 again. And people, I'm telling you, getting anything with Queen Elizabeth portrait on it is going to, again, be of high value because due to her death, they are not making any more real money, gold and silver, with the Queen Elizabeth portrait. And so having that to pass on a generational wealth, again, these crypto commodities, you get these perpetual license on sale for $1,500. That ends July 5th. Fight for your freedom. Also, another one of my personal collection is the Muhammad Ali. The Muhammad Ali 1-ounce silver coin as well. People, that's under $40, right? You got your silver eagle, the kookaburra with the Queen Elizabeth portraits. I'm talking about under $40. You can get this on auto ship. Yeah. I mean, why not? Why not? If you don't come from a rich family, why shouldn't a rich family come from you? Why shouldn't you go by Proverbs 10 and 22 and pass on generational wealth? Right? Why not? Why not? Why not you? Why not now? Why not position yourself for the greatest wealth transfer that this human race, that this generation ever experienced? The only thing that's holding you back is your mindset. People that struggle financially, it is very seldom an issue of opportunities, right? It's an issue of their mindset and their financial education and knowing what real money is and knowing what the future of money is. To get in those crypto commodities and take advantage of those sales on these perpetual crypto license, text CC to 331-444-5556. Love you all. Make sure you like and share this video. Queen out.